What's going on, everybody? You already know it's your boy, and I'm back with another video. It's been a little bit since y'all seen me, you know what I mean? I need to go ahead on and upload up another video, you know what I mean? I ain't really been having an urge to really pick up the camera like that, truth be told. It just, I don't know. Lately, I've been feeling like the odds have been stacked up against me, but you already know I'm built for this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna push through it. I'm always gonna be okay, you know what I mean? But anyway, as you can see in the background, the truck that I took down here to Texas, finally got it back. For y'all that just now picking up on the channel, make sure y'all go back and watch them videos. Also make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so y'all never miss another video. But this right here is a truck I've been working on for some years, and it's probably still gonna be a while before this truck actually gets done, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? I just want it to be pressure when it does come. Anyway, started building this truck, did some trading off on some suspension work. I won't do that again. If y'all, like I said, watched the last video, I had some issues out of Tony doing a suspension. End up sending it back to him. He's out of town. It still ain't right. I end up hitting Tony back up, and now, you know what I mean, he was like, okay, well, something still ain't right, you know what I mean, need to be adjusted, blah, blah, blah. But the point of the matter is, I paid you to do it, you know what I'm saying? But you know what, I kind of put blame on myself a little bit, because I'm the type of person that if you want something done right, you need to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is, I paid you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't even gonna say paid you. I traded you, you know what I mean, some wheels, and we did some other stuff and some cash, you know. And that's kind of how all of this stuff really just kind of came about. But I really wanted some of his work in my truck, so I figured, I said, you know what, screw it, you know, and that's what I did. But you know what? Shame on me. I wouldn't do it again. As a matter of fact, I don't even recommend you even go to him. Like I told y'all before, I'm really big into customer service, and it's not that if you screw up something, it's how you finish. You know what I mean? If you decide to, hey, look, I'm just going to screw him over and I'm just going to let it be, or you happen to make a mistake and you make it right. There's a big difference in between that. So, and I feel like he's leaving me hanging. Same way to go with Felix. This truck actually went up here to Felix to get painted over at Lone Star Collision in Dallas, Texas. Drove 16 hours to drop it off, come back home. You know what I mean? Same thing going back. It's a really, really, really long story when it comes to this whole paint job ordeal. So I didn't make this video to bash anybody, no, none of that stuff. But I do want y'all to know who did this and why I'm not gonna actually end up taking it back. So anyway, in the last video, Tony had my truck for quite a while. Finally got it back, ended up taking it to Dallas, Texas. They had it for years down there as well. Happened to be watching Sugar Man on that, one of his videos, and him and Felix had some run-ins, you know what I mean? And then my truck was in the background of one of his videos, which, you know, that originally had started my like, oh shoot, like what's going on? My truck is sitting in the background, sitting outside, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm starting to worry everything. So I'm hitting up Felix and all of that stuff. So it just became this big ordeal, to the point that another guy hit me up and was like, hey, look, man, you know, your truck is sitting outside. You know, his car was sitting out there too. The city done came and told him, is what he's telling me. His radio got stolen. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Felix got kicked out of the shop, is what this guy's telling me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fast forward probably about, I don't know, 2 weeks later, I'm calling every tow company down there, every, you know, tow yard, everything, anywhere that I can think of where my truck is. I got so much money wrapped up in it, you know, I couldn't find my truck. Lo and behold, I end up hitting up this one tow company, and I can't even lie. And I don't know if this guy must have been cool with Felix or whatever the case was. Somehow that night, Felix ended up calling me. I told him, I said, look, dude, I said, I'm coming to get my truck. I don't care what's going on. You know what I mean? I said, look, I said, it's too many red flags for me. You know what I mean? So he called me, he apologized. He said, dude, your truck is here with, you know, with me in my possession. And, you know, all of that stuff. And I'm like, well, send me pictures. I need your address, blah, 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 everything. he gives me the whole lowdown as to what's been going on, why I couldn't get a hold of him, all of this stuff, you know. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll go ahead and give you another chance, dude, because by this time you already got $5 grand in my money. The likelihood of me getting my money back is going to be slim to zero. So I figured, you know what, I really ain't got a whole lot to lose. You ain't started much on the truck. I want to get my $5 grand worth. Now, you know, mind you, you know, he tried to tax me almost 12 grand for this paint job. So when I ended up, you know, fast forwarding it, he sent me pictures, you know, as progress gets done. And in the pictures and videos, one thing I learned, pictures and videos always look good, even on a shitty paint job, truth be told. You know what I mean? So it's just that quality when you actually get there in person. So like I said, in all of those, the pictures and videos look phenomenal. But when you actually get up on it, your work is just subpar. You know what I mean? And then, you know, like I told him, I'm like, dude, you know, don't get me wrong. A street paint job, this truck is fine. But for the level of where I wanted to take this truck, it ain't to where my standards are. You know what I mean? And maybe that's because of some of the higher level paint jobs that I have had, you know, that's where my level is, you know what I mean? But anyway, when I took it there, my truck was running, driving, drove off the trailer, everything, all of my fenders was set, you know, so when I lay out on the 28s, nothing was rubbing, scrubbing, everything. When I go pick it up, man, the truck don't run, the windows don't work, none of my lights had worked. Let's see, none of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So by this time I'm pissed because I didn't have a winch on my trailer when I went to go pick it up. So there was a guy sitting on the hood pouring gas down into the carburetor, and you know, to keep it running, to get it up on the trailer. So that had already pissed me off because that ain't how I dropped my truck off. Anyway, so finally got it home. Well, after me and Felix start going back and forth as far as on hey, look, man, I still owe you some money. I didn't give him no more money when I got there because I was so unhappy with this paint job. So let's just kind of put it in perspective. So let's go ahead and walk around on this truck real quick. I'm not really going to point out everything as far as on this truck, but it's just, you know, like I said, you really ain't going to be able to see a whole lot through the video. It's just where, you know, where my level is up here, and where this paint job is here. You know what I mean? But anyway, like I said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So, but yeah, it's candy brandy wine. This is a Tamco candy, and all of the jams and everything is done. So now, mind you, like I said, when this truck is laid out, which it's up on the jack right now, but when it's laid out, this goes up, this comes almost up to here, but it comes up and it hits something. I don't know, because I haven't diagnosed it yet. But he didn't paint my fillers to go right here. He claimed they wasn't in the truck, but they was inside the truck. So anyway, when the fender, when this comes down, it pulls this fender in, and I didn't know that. So I went to open the door and it chipped all of this paint in here. Now that pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? So that, let's see, what else? It's more of a magenta color than brandy wine. You can really see like the magenta up in here. So I don't know if that's really the, I don't know. It's a horrible buff job as well, but you can really see a lot of magenta in it as opposed to brandy wine. Just bad body work in some areas that, you know, I didn't appreciate. And then, so as you can see through here, there's these holes. Now you can see my air tank and everything through there. I mean, man, he blew so much paint in there. Now, if y'all remember, all of this in here was powder coated, everything. So, and this is how I got it back. All of this in here, all of this is overspray. You know what I'm saying? Over all of that. So, man, so I don't know. I had the inside of the bed, all of that stuff painted. But like I said, all of that's overspray. So he got that all over that. My suspension was all powder coated as well. It's overspray over all of that. If y'all can see down along my frame rail down there, I had just undercoated the truck before I had even took it to Texas. and all of that's got overspray everywhere. So of course, not happy with that. You know what I mean? Like my pillars is a different color than the roof right there. You know what I'm saying? I know you can see that plain as day. Same thing with the issue up over here, but I didn't open this door, but it's, you know what I mean? It's got some buff burn down in here. You can see it. Yep, look like a candy run. You know what I'm saying? The mirror right here is literally candy red or brandy wine compared to magenta. Just that much of a difference right there. Again, he didn't paint my fillers that went right there. And then didn't put my bumper back. This is still loose. And so while I was up on the trailer, I just happened to look in and I'm like, well, it didn't have any lights. And I says, well, why is there a brand new core support in here? You know, so I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna complain about brand new parts. You know, so whatever. If you put another core support in it, you know, it is what it is. Well, mind you, by this point, he was like, well, he was looking for fenders. It still didn't dawn on me. I just figured maybe, you know, the ones that he had, you know what I mean, might have got dropped, or a little bit of, you know, more body work, whatever the case was. But anyway, he needed more fenders. Said, okay, so he ended up buying those. Didn't know he did the whole core support and everything. So once I actually got the truck back, now mind you, like I said, after going through all of this, and I told him I really wasn't happy with the paint job, you know what I'm saying, then we went ahead and figured out everything from there. So ended up going ahead on leaving, and I got back home. I'm going through the inside because the inside is just trash. Like, it looked like that they left all of my windows open. It got rained in for like 2 months. You know what I mean? I am highly, highly upset because I'm hoping that all my electrical components on the inside is fine. So I end up opening up everything. There is glass everywhere inside of the truck. So as I'm trying to get the I'm like, okay, I didn't put any broken glass in there. I didn't break any windows. But as I'm trying to go through and get these windows working, because mind you, like I said, the windows don't work at this point. But I know you had to have done something for the windows to go up and down for you to get them in and out. So at this point, like I said, I'm going through the bottom of the doors, all of that stuff. There's glass at the bottom of all of these doors. And I'm like, well, man, what the heck? So I go ahead, I send Felix a message. I said, hey, man, I said, why is there glass all over my truck? He says, well, somebody came and broke out all of the windows in your truck. You know what I'm saying? And so he said that he went ahead and put all brand new glass in it. And that, again, pissed me off because I felt like that's something that I should have been known. You know what I mean? Like, you should have had called me and told me and said, hey, look, man, this is what happened to your truck, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I appreciate him for going ahead and getting it fixed, because if you didn't, we'd have had some major problems. But the point of the matter is, that's something that I should have had known. And I asked him, I said, well, why do I have a new core support, new fenders and all of that? Why is all of that stuff brand new? So he was like, something about when he had it towed, they ended up smashing most of the front end, which I find that hard to believe, because if the only way that I could think of that front end getting smashed is if you got one of them old school tow trucks, you know, the one with the sling on the back with the big rubber straps where it picks it up off of the front bumper. You know what I mean? That's the only way that I could think of that stuff would have got damaged up front. Other than that, I don't see how anything up there can get damaged. You know what I mean? Fenders, core support, grill, so on and so forth. So that still mind boggles me, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I finally ended up getting the truck back. I was thankful that it wasn't stolen and all of this stuff. So I'm the type of person, I just got to make the situation as best as what it is. So anyway, got the truck back. Now I'm trying to go ahead on and get it on together. So I know I done jibber jabbered as far as on this whole story for 15 minutes already, but long story short, Felix at Lone Star Collision in Dallas, Texas. Do I recommend y'all go there? Nope. Like I said, if you want a street quality paint job, he's probably fine for that. But if you want to show quality, he's the wrong person to sit here and take it to. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make the best of this situation. And then probably, I don't know, in a couple years, once this truck is on the road and I get a chance to enjoy it a little bit, I'll probably have it repainted. But you know, a lot of y'all know painting is in my background. I should have went ahead and painted it to begin with, but I didn't. I felt like I had more, you know, money than I did time, so that's the reason I went ahead and went the route that I did. Also, you know, it had 2 brand new Optima batteries. They're both bad now. I think they let the truck sit with the battery dead for so long before doing anything, and it just annihilated those Optima batteries. So got to replace 2 of those. But I guess on a more positive note, I got the truck back. I'm trying to go ahead on and get it wrapped on up. So with that being said, right here where we're at right now, obviously it's got the candy paint. I'm just subpar, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but I still paid a nice chunk of money for it, because by this time I done sunk deposits and stuff. But as you can see, it's on the 28s. I just finished making the wheels for those yesterday. So I gotta finish deburring them, washing them, all of that stuff, putting floating caps, mount the tires, so on and so forth. Once I do that, I gotta go ahead and figure out what the deal is with this front end, why my fenders and everything keep on flexing, and then I'm gonna go ahead on and get that figured on out. So once I get that front end figured on out, then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the back. As y'all can see, I did have the fenders raised up on here. The fenders normally come down about here. I had them raised up a couple inches to this body line right there, and that way I can tuck that 28 in there. I did not have them widened because I cannot stand widened fenders, so I did end up having them raised. So it's got a it's got a non-dually rear end in it, and it's all 4-length and stuff. So hopefully I should be able to tuck them 28s with no issues. And then what I plan on doing is running a hardwood floor down in here and cleaning up all of this on the inside and get all of that stuff nice. So that way I can go ahead and start hitting these shows, you know what I'm saying, with this bad boy. But for right now, let me go ahead on. I'm getting ready to take this grill off right now. And I got all brand new lights. A lot of this stuff from like LMC truck. Let's see, what is, yep, so I got that. Got LED bulbs. Got new grill emblem, so on and so forth. So I'm finna go ahead on and put a lot of that stuff on together. As you can see, the slosh tubs in there, all of that stuff's painted. But yeah. So I'm finna go ahead on and get that grill taken on out of here, so I can go ahead and get my lights and all of that stuff put in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this front suspension. So I did want to go ahead on and just start this story with what's been going on with the truck, and now that I got it back, what I'm actually gonna be doing to it. So, but anyway, y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned, and then I'll go ahead and probably wrap up this video once I get this front end wrapped on up. So stay tuned. So when I got to the point, went ahead on and got this grill on off. This lower piece right here that goes on the grill, this piece right here was all loose. They didn't even tighten up the bolts. Matter of fact, they didn't even put the correct bolts, the ones that was in there and all of that stuff. So I had to make sure I had to go through and retighten all of that stuff up. That way it gives it a good, you know, when I put the grill back on, everything is nice and solid. So anyway, got all of that, you know what I mean, screwed on in and whatnot. And then got my new lights on in here. I do have LED bulbs for these. And then I went ahead on and I put a new emblem. I really wanted a billet chrome one, but I couldn't find them. I ended up buying a black one. I thought about going to get a chrome, but man, I mean the cost of it, of doing that and all of that, I didn't want to have $400 in an emblem. So anyway, I ended up just buying an OEM gold one. Plus I'm going to actually accent this truck in gold anyway. So I went ahead on and put the billet grill in here, which is chrome, because it's, like I said, chrome and gold accent, and then the lights is going to be the chrome as well. So yeah. So that's where we at. So let me go ahead on and put these LEDs up in this headlight, and once I get done with that, then I'll go ahead and put this grill back together. So just stay tuned. what's going on? I'm back working on the Chevy today. Figured, you know what, I had the day off. I figured I'd go ahead on and put some time in on it. I really need to try and go ahead and get this truck done, at least to get it to where it's pretty well mobile, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, what I had to end up coming in here to do, which I should not have had to have done because it was done the first time, but when it was down at Felix, somehow the fenders got messed up and he didn't trim them out correctly. So anyway, I had to go up through here and trim out, I'm sorry. So anyway, I had to go out and trim up all of this stuff up and through here. Again, I wish that Tony, I wish that I had some more light, but I wish that Tony would have brought that firewall up a little bit more, because my tire is actually hitting on it, and it's actually hitting on it pretty hard, truth be told. So anyway, went ahead on and got the wheels on there, so that looks pretty good. Got my spikes and all of that stuff. Felix forgot to paint my my bumper filler right there, so I got to go ahead on and do another one of those. But as you see, with the floating caps and everything, and those that actually follow me quite a bit, then you also know that those are the floating caps that's off of the sport chassis. So I went ahead on and took them up off of there, and I got some other plans in mind. So but yeah, so I went ahead on, I didn't want them to go to waste. I figured I'd go ahead and put them on here and let them look good. So yeah, so that right there is a big 28 stuffed up in there. Lowboy Motorsport arms, all of that stuff's powder coated and whatnot. So but yeah, so what I'm gonna actually go ahead on and do, I'm finna get ready to go ahead on and let the suspension down. I had to actually put some spacers in the airbag so that it wasn't hitting so hard as far as on the firewall. And I went ahead and put those spacers in there, went ahead and got everything trimmed on up in the front end. I know that I still got to adjust my control arms so that the tire, you know, camber and all of that stuff. So I got to adjust all of that. But anyway, let me go ahead on and get this thing down, because I'm really excited to see what it looks like tucking on them 8s. So just stay tuned. So as you can see, that's all the way aired out. Same thing for the back, you know what I mean? But it's on the stock wheels back there. So I'm actually going to save that for the next episode. But as far as on this one right here, man, that wheel is sitting off up in there nice. Oh, it's sitting off up in there nice. Yes, sir. Tucking them 8s, skating them 8s. Yep, so I got to go through. Felix and them had a ground that was loose underneath there when I was going to redo the suspension. And I guess tidy up some stuff, and I happened to see a couple grounds loose. But anyway, I couldn't get this corner light to work, so I think that hooking up them grounds probably did it, but I need to actually hook it all back up and just see if it's working. Anyway, everything else was working but that one. But as you can see, went ahead on and put the billet grill in there, the new original OEM gold emblem with the LED lights, new clear lenses, all of that stuff. So but yeah, she looking good off up in here. Yep, definitely looking good off up in here. So that's going to go ahead on and wrap up this episode right here. So just go ahead on and stay tuned for the next one, because like I said, I can't wait to go ahead on and get that back end finished up and be able to get a chance to start tucking on them 8s back there. I got to go back through and redo some of Tony's stuff and whatnot, which again, I shouldn't have to do, but I got to do it anyway. So, but anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure that y'all stay tuned for the next video, and we just go from there. So before you leave this video, do me a favor. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. You already know it's the Dually King, and I'm signing off. Peace.